Awesome. All right, welcome everybody back to another live trading session. Today is going to be a little different because it is PM session. Today we're looking at FOMC news event, which is going to be occurring in around 12 minutes, which is 2 p.m. EST. And let's start doing our little analysis. I honestly haven't even looked at the charts. But the annotations from yesterday played out pretty well where, right, we ended off the stream yesterday talking about how if this previous day low, right, this is one SMT divergence already with a time-based liquidity, and then we had another SMT divergence, which is what I like to call stacked SMT divergence, and from here we started seeing higher prices. So within this fair value gap, this hourly fair value gap, this is where we were looking for our long setup. And so I'm not sure if anyone caught this, but this is where you would be looking for your long setup. We have an SMT divergence on the lows here within a propulsion block. Could have taken that long, or even in the morning there was a short here that I annotated for you guys, right? There's a short over here, SMT on the highs within a higher time frame PD array, took that short into previous day low. So there were two opportunities yesterday. I personally did not trade yesterday because it was not part of my plan. So just tape reading wise, that's what I was looking at. And so moving on to today, right? We can expect before FOMC to have some sort of choppy price action. Okay, so let me take a look at the chart here. Let me delete some of these annotations. We can go from a top-down analysis kind of breakdown, right? Not sure why my indicator is not working here though for quarterly theory. Give it a second, maybe it's loading. You have to take it off and put it back on. Happens a lot. Okay, I'll try that. This is the first time it's happened to me. Perfect. There we go. Thank you, Snows, for that. So once again, we're gonna start with our monthly quarters, or at least that's what I like to do. Monthly using time synchronization. We're gonna start on the 4-hour chart. And so we already understand that we had SMT divergence with the previous week low, right? So we can look for higher prices. And so that's exactly what I'm looking for right now is I'm bullish until we get some sort of SMT on the highs. And so if we are in anticipation of some sort of SMT divergence, we can look at previous week high once again, right? So previous week high would be this high for NQ. Can you guys see this, or do you want me to make it thicker so you guys can see it better? You can see it? Okay, perfect. So on ES, previous week high would be, if I remember correctly, it's this high right here. And then previous week high for YM would be this high right here. So let's just mark out our time-based liquidities, right? So previous week high being a time-based liquidity. You all understand what a time-based liquidity is, right? Correct? Or do you need me to explain that? Okay, perfect. So as of right now, my expectation is if we look at the markets, right, we can already tell which market is closer to previous week high. So we can anticipate possibly ES will drive higher into this previous week high, possibly these equal highs right here. And then we'll have that SMT divergence on the highs with a time-based liquidity, which is significant, right? And then from that, we can gauge possibly lower prices. So once FOMC comes out, we'll see what kind of movement it wants to give us, and then we'll kind of gauge it from there on. Any questions? Because as of right now, right, we are kind of stuck in a range, right, between this low and this high. We are in between this range, which is, if I remember correctly, or you can even look at it like this. We have previous day. So I'm gonna go to the hourly chart just to make it a little easier. We have previous day high and low as well. So this previous day high, and all the markets have taken previous day high. So that's not anything we would pay attention to, right? Because we don't have SMT divergence. In the sense of a market maker model, I would say we're leaning into a market maker buy model as of right now, but I wouldn't say it's a very reliable large scale one as of right now. I would be more inclined to think that we're in a smaller scale market maker buy model. So if I were to drop down to the 15-minute chart, I'm sure we'll see something a little clearer here, like this. So we're in a smaller scale market maker buy model looking for higher prices. And I think that this is our final objective for NQ's market maker buy model. So possibly we could get some SMT divergence on the lows here, right? FOMC drives out these lows and then drives higher. So that's possible. Exactly. And that would be your model, which would be higher time frame PDRA to your lower time frame structure SMT, right? Yes, Levi. That would be AMD. So AMD is essentially, if you look in, so what AMD really is just like phase in a market maker model. As of right now, I'd say my attention is leaning towards, right, all of this liquidity that's resting below here. Where's the inefficiency that rests below it? It's this fair value gap right here. So we can see possibly a dig into here. Look for some sort of 5-minute SMT divergence. Take a long. So that's our game plan as of right now. We'll have to see. Once again, we'll have to see what what FOMC wants to offer us too, right? We don't want to just pull a trigger. We want to make sure it's high probability. So that would be in around 4 minutes now. Before I get started, saying hello to some new faces. I think Tristan. I saw him in the last stream, but I didn't really shout him out. So welcome Tristan, Anderson, Jerome. Who else? I think that's it. I think that's all the new faces here. So guys, feel free to say hello. Jerome, are you from SCBP? If I remember correctly. Smart Trading Blueprint. Are you from Casper's mentorship or no? Oh, okay, perfect. And then Anderson, if I remember correctly, you said that in your introduction, you said that you've been trading for 3 years, but you don't actually. Do you trade ICT or is it something else that you trade? What's up, Jeep? Perfect, Jerome. And if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what I'm here for, right? Yeah, that's okay, Anderson. What do you trade after FOMC? So it's just like any other high impact news, FOMC, CPI, PPI, NFP, news events like that. I generally like to wait for the displacement first and then see if a setup presents itself. rather than, you know, rather than just trying to trade the news event itself. Because before high impact news, like those ones that I just mentioned, you will generally see an engineering of liquidity. So right here we have this engineered liquidity, right? So all the sell side liquidity, I'm expecting FOMC to take it out before we go higher. Awesome. Thanks for the kind of words, Jerome. I didn't realize how much work that a mentorship actually like. I'm not, it's like not even necessarily a mentorship. So I'm developing the coursework right now. I didn't even realize how much work it really is because I'm making like probably like over 30 lectures to cover absolutely everything you need to know from A to Z. And on top of that, I'm making like homework, assignments, stuff like that for each lecture. I didn't realize how much time it actually requires. So that's why it's like I wanted to release it at like the start of 2024, but working on it, I didn't realize like it was gonna take me this long. All right, so FOMC right now. Remember, these are events that we don't want to be a part of because of the unpredictability of its volatility. So we have ES digging into previous week high very soon. So I think that we're not actually gonna get to dig into our hourly fair value gap. We're most likely just gonna run for the target if this is how it's playing out. And a little something that I actually missed now that I see is that SMT on the low with a YM. So that's something I missed. Yes, taking previous week high now, so we can anticipate that we could potentially have a time based SMT divergence on the highs. So that's something you guys want to be aware of. Yo, what's up, Eli? How's work? Good shit. So from here, you could potentially go on the 5 minute. I don't think you're gonna have an SMT divergence as of right now, though. So you're gonna have to wait. If you want to take a short, I think that this hourly fair value gap is a good target just because of all this low resistance liquidity, right? But until we have clear confirmation that we're going lower, I would not suggest pressing a button as of right now. And then afterwards, potentially we could go for that previous week low if we are bearish. See if there's going to be an opportunity here looking like it. Yeah, so far it looks pretty bullish. If this drawn liquidity stays intact, then we could potentially look for a long. If that gets taken and we have that SMT divergence, right, then we can start looking for signs of some sort of reversal. So that's the first objective hit that none of us should be participating in. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say you shouldn't be participating in. It's just for my model, it's low probability. Yep, exactly. So if NQ is able to hold not taking previous week high, then we can anticipate for SMT divergence. So let me just, I'm going to leave this annotation here so you guys can see how ES and YM took previous week high. Right. And then this would be that market maker buy model completed on the, I'd say it's more so a 15-minute chart market maker buy model. They want to check what DXY is doing. Oh, this looks like really good liquidity for EU by the way. Actually, let's look at GU if there is a SMT divergence on the lows. Not that I see right now. Looks pretty good. And then let's see for DXY. There's an SMT on these highs, so that looks like a good reversal point. Meaning higher prices for EU, GU, and index futures, right? Yeah, we'll see what this has to yield. And once again, once this reverses, we want to see a fair value gap create and then pay attention to that since it's the new immediate order flow, right? And so we'll see if price trades back into it, displaces lower, then we can anticipate that this is a market maker sell model within a market maker sell model, which is extremely high probability. We're most likely going for this low if it is the case. So something to look out for DXY. So far, so good looking here, though. Right? It looks more like a manipulation than a displacement. Honestly, I'm down to take a stab at a short here. Let's see what kind of risk I can put on though. I think I'm gonna just trade my 50K account here. So I'm gonna use some micros. I'll put on 3 micro contracts. Put my stop loss. Actually, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna watch this and see what happens. I'm gonna put my stop loss at this order block high, also this breaker. This honestly, this fair value gap, I see it as a breakaway gap already, so I'm just gonna put my stop loss there. And this is where I want to see displacement past these lows. So past this low, I want to see displacement. Also paying attention to this low. So I want to see displacement past here. So I'm not afraid to move my stop loss lower now because this high, swing high, is respecting immediate order flow, right? So I want to see speed from that high. It should not be taken again. Not really liking this reaction from this low. Once again, paying attention to immediate order flow. It would be this imbalanced price range. So if we end up trading back into it, I want to see how price reacts to it. Stopped out there. Oh, or not. I have one more contract and now I'm stopped out. So in that case, I would just reassess. Go back to the higher time frame. Reassess what is going on. Honestly, I still think that it looks pretty bearish. We could be trading back into here. This fair value gap. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to develop more price action here, and then I'll potentially take another stab. Yeah, that's what I was looking at, Levi. Although we don't have a SMT divergence to confirm that this phase is ending. Originally, I was looking at this SMT divergence right here, which is why I entered here. So we got a quick expansion, but we failed to displace past this low, right? So then that's why I got stopped out of that one. One-minute inversion for rally gap. Yeah, the internal low has been taken though, so that's something you want to be careful about. That's the guaranteed target. It's been taken already. So in terms of 5-minute, there's still nothing really put in. This was more of a turtle soup trade. So let's go back to the 1 hour chart just so we can see what's going on. Remember, you always want to keep in mind what is going on the higher time frame narrative. And so from here, once again, looking at this, it looks pretty promising that it wants to go lower. So we can put here time-based SMT, right? Yeah, 2022 model. This would be it. But I don't really trust it too much because this market structure shift was just a wick, you know. So like entering on my trade over here on the 15-second chart, that's where I want to see displacement past, which we failed to get. So that's something I don't want to hop on like again. I don't want to hop back in too quick, especially after just taking a loss. So I have to let myself become emotionally neutral again and just waiting for some price signature that aligns with my model again. Wonder what kind of loss I endured there actually. Let me just really quickly. Took three contracts. Around, okay, I'll do the calculation after. So right here, this looks good, but once again, it looks good for bearishness, like in terms of price action, but I'm just not seeing any like SMT divergence that I'm interested in entering on. Started at 60? Good shit. That's, oh, damn, you caught the top of that. So right now we do have an SMT on the lows, right? So that's something I'm paying attention to. Is this gonna be validated or invalidated? So I'm waiting. Let's see what 3 o'clock has in store for us. ES trading below previous week highs, same with YM. Yes, so that's the SMT divergence I'm looking at with time-based liquidity. So now I'm paying attention to this low. Are we gonna displace past it, or are we just gonna wick below it again? Right. So this SMT on the lows has been invalidated, but I want to see how we react to these lows now. Right. So once again, not something I'm super confident in because once we trade below it, we start displacing higher, inverting that gap. So exactly shipwrecked. I feel like I should also. Do you guys think it would be helpful? I'm not sure if you guys watch the recordings, but do you think it would be helpful if I added the Discord chat into the recordings as well? Just so then there's like context and stuff. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, for sure. I was thinking that like I was like thinking about that. I was like the people that are watching the recording definitely do not like know what we're talking about. So now we're inside that 5 minute fair value gap, which is the low I annotated. $500 of my profit didn't record on Tradeovate. Really? That's interesting. So I'm still looking at all of this low resistance liquidity resting below price right now. I think it serves as a good draw on liquidity into this hourly fair value gap. So if we get an SMT on the highs, I wouldn't be too afraid to kind of pull the trigger here. It's just we don't really have much to frame it off of in terms of price action right now. Could possibly also be bullish continuation. Let me just make sure here because we do have 5 minute fair value gap, 15-second SMT, and a higher time frame market maker buy model. Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. Yeah, so what it looks like to me is that this right here, this trend line liquidity looks very good for, just a quick price sweep higher. That's what it looks like to me at least. Um let me check what Leon sent in the premium chat. He just uh he just annotated everything we're looking at right now. Is this called the bull flag? If I remember correctly, there's a bull flag, right? Or something. Gotta measure the length of the pole, right? And then uh it's gonna double the move. from the bottom. Therefore, we're going to 18,455 for sure. No cap. No cap. Still nothing that interests me as of right now. That initial short, if it displaced lower, that was a trade I wanted to be in, but because it started doing this, that's something I don't want to be in. Markets, because the markets are rigged. So this is what Mark said. So the Fed speaks at 2 p.m., but within 5 seconds the market moves. How the hell does that happen? Because the markets are rigged. He's gone retail. Nice, good stuff, Snows. At least you took some profit. I got stopped out, so nice, good shit, Mark. I bought a new 50K account just so I can live trade on Tradeovate, so I can show you guys my executions as I'm doing them. That's interesting. You know what this looks like to me? 5 minute fair value gap. This is what it looks like to me. I'll be honest. The fair value gap, right? And then you have that 15-second SMT divergence on the lows, and then you have that buy side of the curve. That's what it looks like to me as of right now. You know, trade below this low, you got your turtle soup. No cap. 5 minute until move begins. No cap equals financial advice. I see a sell model from the high on the left there. Yes. So I also see a sell model, but like the way this is trading right now, I don't know how much I trust bearishness. Right? Because if we were bearish, this right here, my entry right here, this is where you want to see displacement lower. Right here. Like this is where I wanted to see a clean sweep lower. The way it's stalling right now, I don't know how I feel about that. Is there more news that I am unaware of? Oh, 2:30. Oh shit, I did not even see that. That is something I should have paid attention to. Yeah, we're definitely gonna see something big. 2 minutes. Okay, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I've been trading for so long and I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, in my whole trading career, usually what I do is I don't even look at the charts for FOMC and I just wait until the next day. I think I can do my screen recording. It'll look like I have a wider monitor, but really what I'll do is I'll record partial of my second monitor and then full screen on my first monitor. And that way you guys will have the Discord chat in the recording. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So now it's 2:30. See what happens. You guys tricked me. Where's the volatility? NQ is such a scam. Trading's a scam. Yeah, I'm gonna just let it do its thing. Nothing to my expectations right now, other than the run higher, but it didn't even go for that order consolidation high. No precision swing point either. L. Man, this is too clean though, no? I feel like this is just too clean. You know what I'm saying? Anybody see that? Is it just me? Changing state delivery full port. I'm kidding. Please do not full port. That was not financial advice. I didn't say no cap. Exactly. All right, now I'm gonna ask you guys something. Who here has watched the SMT video that I released? The latest video. Press one in the chat if you did, and two in the chat if you didn't. All right, good. Give me that ad revenue. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, that shit is like that is like I think that video is like just literally all the secrets I have. That is literally it. I have no secrets after that. That's it. That's my model, guys. I'm gonna go back to the 5 minute chart. Type H1 fair rally gap. I'm gonna move my eyeball. $18,240 next draw. I agree with you. It's been like I think it's been like 2 days, and I'm at 13,474 subscribers already. Ethan, are you familiar with New York Stock Exchange ticks? I am not familiar with that. Just something to mention. Yesterday there was another opening range gap that got filled. That is once again something I have to study. This one right here, little gap. The big one. This one or this one? This one. Okay. That's the hourly fair value gap. No wonder our draw liquidity's there. Wait, Snows has Enigma. It's the opening. It's a real trading hours gap. Carson said, "Dog, what is this even doing?" I'll be honest with you. I don't know what it's doing. I couldn't tell you that. I can tell you, our time frame analysis wise, though, it's still playing out to expectations. So, sometimes you just gotta wait for a clean setup, especially if you're looking at the lower time frame. I subscribed back when your YouTube said cybersecurity. Yeah, I was gonna get into cybersecurity, but I was like, yo, My shit is starting to scale, so I think I can't do cybersecurity anymore. That's awesome, cheap. Sick notes. Go higher on 5 minute for SMT. Put a magnet on it. All right, guys. Do you guys want price to go higher or lower? Because like I'm about to put my magnet lower. All right, I got you guys. Just a small magnet. All right, got you. Just gotta bait it a little bit. So I'm gonna bait it with a tiny little magnet. And then what it doesn't expect is as it gets closer, there's a big ass magnet right here that's gonna pull it right to it. Trust. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Leon. I was looking for a high. That's why I didn't enter on a short. Is because I'm looking for SMT on the highs if I'm gonna go short. That's why I also said at three p.m. because that would be Q3 right of the session. So we get woo, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's not displacing lower, so so possibly higher. Well, the thing is like it's not doing either, right? It's like down up. It's like price is just compressing right now. That's what my private mentor told me this price action is called. It's called compression when the candles are just side by side. Yo, this guy, he's actually in this Discord and you guys just don't know. Yeah, he's really good at trading. I'm gonna be honest, he taught me like majority of my technical analysis. This guy, I don't think he wants like social media attention. I don't even know, man. I just know he sits in his room, he does his own thing, and then, he teaches people that are close to him. That speech is over. He's answering questions now. Yeah, let's hope they ask some good questions. How do we meet? Through another connection. So it was like my old mentor that I work with for e-commerce, he introduced me to him. And then just purely off of trust, he started mentoring me. So I was like, damn, all right, I gotta put my blood, sweat, and tears into this since he's willing to do that for me. I see that, Levi. Guys, guys, I know you guys are eager to look for a trade setup, but it's like when you see price action like this, like in my opinion, I feel like it's better to just kind of let it do its thing until it's extremely obvious. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let me ask you, if you guys were in this short, okay, for example, if you guys were in this short, then price, yeah, it displaced lower, but then it instantly displaced higher. You know what I mean? Let's say you were in this long over here earlier from this 5 minute fair value gap, starts displacing higher the second you're in, but then it starts displacing lower. It's just not something, you know, I would personally want to, like always, I don't want to like execute on this. This is like a seek and destroy profile right here. What about YM? Leon. ICT always waits a minimum of 30 minutes after news. Yes, and that's what Day has taught me as well. So am I missing something on YM, Leon? I think it's about to take it, right? About to take all time high. I'm just looking at this high as a SMT divergence. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just waiting for confirmation though. That's what I'm saying, Leon. But we have to be patient. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. And right now, it doesn't look that good to me, in my opinion. So there's that. Like, I guess this liquidity, like, obviously this liquidity here looks good, but it's like you can't short this. You know what I mean? If I drop down to the lower time frame, it's just seek and destroy in the 1 minute, right? Seek and destroy is just wiping out liquidity over and over again. So this is how you know low probability as of right now until we get some clear indication that that price wants to go somewhere. Yeah, that's good. That's a good mark. Always good to be content with enough. And I'm like 90% sure there's gonna be a better setup tomorrow than today. So even if I end up on whatever loss I took earlier, then it is what it is. I don't really care that much. I still have one more bullet for today, but if it doesn't present itself, then tomorrow I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a better day anyways. What's the latest I take trades? I'll be honest, I usually only trade New York AM sessions. I'm not content, but all you guys say take two and go. Well, that's the thing. It's just like you don't want to like that. The mentality here is not to expose. It's like it's trying to reduce risk you expose yourself to. So if you're up two trades right now, right? So think about it. If you're up two trades right now, take another trade. If you take a loss, how are you gonna feel? Exactly. So you just have to be honest with yourself. Like, how will you feel if you took a loss? Then you're gonna be like, oh man, like I shouldn't have taken a trade. Maybe like now I have to make it back, and you're gonna try to take another trade. And that's how you end up revenge trading, for example. I completely get that though. It's like when you are newer to trading, in my opinion, it's like you are more eager to trade. It's like when I first traded, I would be honest, I took like 10, 20, 30 trades a day, bro. And then I started journaling, and that's when I was like, yeah, I don't want to journal 10 trades per day anymore. They're just throwing me off. Damn, that's fire. That's fire, shipwreck. I'm gonna start creating these models, and I'm gonna name them some cool ass shit. Or I'm gonna name it some very meme stuff. what does your projection level say on ES? I don't have the clearest read on the markets right now for projections, but I'll take a look. So if we had SMT divergence monthly target wise, I would say SMT on that low. I wouldn't even use that. This is my projection. Then we had another SMT here, so you could also use this projection if you want for current price. I also think this is going to put in the high of the week, in my opinion. And the reason is because tomorrow we could have a Thursday reversal. And then what does this look like? It just looks like a massive scale market maker sell model, right? At least that's what I see in my head right now. Because we have previous week high, we have an SMT with it, right? You guys are I'm gonna do community votes for naming my models. You know what? I got you guys with that. Can barely hear ya. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It might be your settings. It does look like NQ is reaching for that previous week high as well. So I don't know. If that gets taken, then that SMC is invalidated, obviously. So just keep a lookout for that. This is very, very unclean price action, though, I'll be honest. Or at least in my opinion. Because if we're looking for a market maker buy model on the overall scale, right, of the hourly chart, framed off of a, I guess you could say framed off of a higher time frame liquidity pool, which would be that previous week high, previous week low right here. SMT divergence on these lows, and so our projections would just be from this low to this high, which is also, yeah, that SMT projection. We trade into the -2, -2.5 standard deviation zone, get a retracement. We create our SMT divergence on the lows, and we end up getting our accumulation phase one. And then we have another SMT over here, right? And then that would signify that our reaccumulation has completed here, displacing higher for that original consolidation high, which I guess would be this high. But if that's the case, that means the market maker buy model has been completed on YM and ES, whereas it hasn't on NQ, and that's why I was expecting time-based SMT with this, so that we can see some sort of reversal, since we need an SMT divergence to confirm our smart money reversal. So that's kind of what's going in my head right now. Any questions, or did that make sense? assuming there's no questions. Also in the daily fair value gap. This one right here. True. Internal to external range liquidity. I don't know how much I trust internal to external right now, though, just because of this price action right here. So this was our, I think, previous. Yeah, so far it looks pretty bearish. And so you can also draw your equilibrium or your dealing range like this, right, on DXY. If we displace past this 50%, then we can see some sort of, lower prices. I wouldn't be too eager to enter on this because we've already had a massive displacement. I think this was the move right here, to be honest. So that's a 200-point move. I don't know if you guys would want to and still look for trades after that. Pretty big expansion. So if this ends up being our weekly objective, then tomorrow we can see probably a retracement back into that previous week high. If we take previous week high, then I'm expecting a continuation higher overall. Actually, let me look at the monthly cycle really quickly just to confirm. This is the true month open right here. So yeah, actually this makes sense. We have that accumulation, manipulation, distribution higher. Then I guess we're going for all-time highs again. In terms of the monthly cycle, that makes sense. We take our weekly quarters. Wait, that's interesting. Because then we would have manipulated that low, taking out, going higher. This right here makes sense. I think this is the cleanest. Using the weekly cycle, this is the cleanest chart you're gonna find right now. Because right now, it's like the only thing I want to say is that because we had SMT occur between these two, I want to say it's more of an AMDX profile rather than an XAMD profile. I don't know. Kind of interesting how Monday played out then, the way it did. But it makes sense either way you say it. You can say this XAMD or AMDX. I feel like both ways will make sense. Yeah, that too, Levi, for sure. So now it is 3 p.m. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this has become a cleaner market maker sell model now. If we get that displacement, that is. So I think that if we get SMT divergence on the highs here, then I'm willing to kind of take a short here back into this hourly fair value gap once again. We'll have to see what it offers though. Until we get that SMT divergence, I'm not too keen on pressing a button. Let me take a look at Bitcoin. Um. Oh yeah, I like that. It looks like a good market maker buy model actually. See that SMT? Pretty big. Break that consolidation higher. I can see that happening. The only thing I would wait though is wait for Bitcoin to take this high. That would be that market structure shift, right? And that'll confirm that your SMT is put in. Let's see. Bearish, then I'd expect a run past these lows. I mean, I guess we have an SMT here, but I don't know. That's so like close in proximity. I don't even know if I would consider that. We have a rejection block right here as well. I'm taking the high again, watching NQ, see how it reacts. And that would be the invalidation of the SMT, so you wouldn't really look at that anymore. And we're very close to that previous week high as well, so just keep that in mind. Snows. I'll be honest, I think the move's been had already. It would have been this 5 minute fair value gap earlier, but within that we got a lot of chop, so I don't even know if you would have been able to catch that unless you had a wider stop. 15 minute was a little cleaner as a 15 minute unicorn. I think that's like the only way you would have caught that is using the 15 minute unicorn. But yeah, with that being said, I think I'm probably just gonna end the stream here. I don't think that, like, personally, I would suggest you guys don't take any more trades for today. It is pretty late into the day as well, right? It's already 3:10, so it's not. It's probably not the time you want to be trading. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:15. That being said, have a great day, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.